Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and all of the iPhone 11 leaks up until this point seem to be focused around one central, or in this case, square point, and that is being the iPhone 11's camera. And rightfully so, the iPhone 11's camera design is a departure from the traditional camera design on iPhones. But I think there's more to this design, and there's a big reason for this design, and I think we're also in for a huge year for iPhone photography. Now, I know I've covered this topic in previous videos, but this is going to be a video solely dedicated on the iPhone 11's camera. So let's start from the beginning with the rumored design for the iPhone 11's camera. So leak after leak, concept after concept, 3D render after 3D render, we are seeing an iPhone 11 camera that is getting rid of the vertical orientation for this squared camera bump. In that bump or hump, there's going to be three different cameras. So your normal iPhone camera, your telephoto camera that you're used to, and a new camera, an ultra wide angle. Now, that telephoto lens that we've come accustomed to on the iPhone is rumored to be getting an update. Specifically, the zoom range on the iPhone 11's camera is rumored to be getting an upgrade. I don't know what sort of range improvements we can expect out of the iPhone 11, but recently we've seen a lot of photos from the Huawei P30 and the incredible zoom range that that phone has, so maybe Apple is thinking that they should be stepping up their game in terms of that zoom range, so maybe it might be something as small as a 3x zoom, or maybe something more substantial as a 5x zoom. Personally, I would like to see something more substantial on the zoom range for the iPhone 11 lens. Don't get me wrong, the 2x zoom on the iPhone is nice, but I would like to see something that maybe goes to 3x and then can scale back to the 2x, or even something that goes along with 5x, as long as it's able to not be that compromised when it comes to taking those portrait mode photography shots or when it's going out to a longer range. As for the third lens, the ultra wide angle lens, this is an entirely new camera that we haven't seen on any of the previous iPhones. But it wouldn't be the first ultra wide angle camera to market. LG's been doing this for a while. Now we've seen a lot of other phone makers adding ultra wide angle lenses to their phones. After reviewing the Galaxy S10e this year, I can see the benefits of adding the ultra wide angle lens to the iPhone 11. I like the wider perspective that it can give you that you normally just couldn't get with the normal style of lens. Now let's get back to the rumored appearance of the iPhone 11's camera, and there's two schools of thought on what this might look like. Number one being is that the camera hump or bump will be a matching color to the current iPhones. So if you pick up a silver iPhone 11, the camera hump will be in silver. If you pick up a space gray iPhone 11, the camera hump will be in space gray. And if you pick up a gold or whatever additional color they may announce, it will match according to those colors. The second school of thought is that the iPhone 11 is rumored to be getting a special black coating that goes over the camera lens that makes it sort of invisible. And with that thinking, the iPhone 11 will have that camera hump being in the same place, but instead of seeing the three individual lenses, all you will see is a sheet of black glass. As for my personal take, I'm not really sure which renders or which rumor I'd go along with, and I'm also not sure which one I like better. I can see the merits for both. If Apple can incorporate a design where they can black out the lenses, and maybe even incorporate it into the design of the phone completely so that you don't even really see that there is a camera hump, that could be a really cool and futuristic design to the point of where we don't even see these cameras. Conversely, I can also see Apple embracing the three camera design, much like they did with embracing the notch, and Apple designing it in a way that could be very pleasing to the eye that these 3D renderings don't do a good job of. Like I've stated so many times in previous videos, 3D renders just don't do the final design of a product justice, and I've mentioned that the iPhone 8 or the rumored iPhone 10 at that time, when it was coming out, when it was showing off that camera system, a lot of people complained that the vertical integration looked ugly, and the same can be said for the 7 Plus's camera. That was the first iPhone camera to get the two lens design, and early leaks and early reports, a lot of people were complaining, saying it was really, really ugly. Even going back to the camera bump on the iPhone 6, a lot of people, when they saw the initial design leaks, said that is something that Apple would never do. They would never put a camera bump on their phone, and I think those people have been proven to be really, really wrong at this point. But while everyone seems to be focused on the appearance of the iPhone 11's camera, not necessarily the design of it, because as we know from my other video, design isn't how it looks, it's how it works, and that's where I am most interested with the iPhone 11's camera, is how this 3-camera system will work. Recently, I took a trip to New York City to take some photos with the iPhone XS Max and the Google Pixel 3a, and even after all these months of the iPhone XS Max release, and even though there are newer phones on the market which might be stealing some of the spotlight, I was still impressed with the photos that the XS Max was taking. And one of the reasons why I like the pictures coming out of the XS Max was because of the Smart HDR feature. Smart HDR was a feature implemented on the iPhone XS and iPhone XR. And the way Smart HDR works is that it combines multiple photos into one shot to capture better shadow detail and highlights. And the thing about Smart HDR is that it is a Generation 1 feature, and if we know anything about Apple, is that when the first generation of a feature or product comes out, the second generation of that implementation is usually a lot better. And it leads me to believe that Smart HDR is going to be getting a major upgrade this year. Now, while Smart HDR was completely a software-based approach to merging all of these photos together, with the iPhone 11, we are going to be getting a triple camera system. And there are rumors out there saying that the iPhone 11 will be able to take a photo using all 3 lenses at once. Supposedly, this will make the iPhone 11's camera capture more pixels, and then it will merge all of this data together. And with all that extra data, this is going to lead to a new way that we can edit our photos. So there are multiple reports right now that Apple is working on software for photo and video correction. This autocorrection feature would be able to fit people back into a photo who may have accidentally been cut out. The way I see it from this rumor is that all of the lenses on the iPhone 11 will be firing at once and capturing all of that data from all of those different focal lengths. And then when you get that photo, you'll be able to go in, you'll have all that data preserved, and you will be able to edit the focal length of that photo. So say you take a picture with the normal lens and someone is cut off on the side, imagine going into an editing window and slowly zooming out of that already taken photograph to reveal the person that was cut off. You would not even need to go to the full ultra-wide angle mode if you didn't want to. This same feature would also work for video, so say if you cut someone out of the frame, you would be able to go into your video and then zoom out of that frame, revealing more data. Furthermore, we also heard rumblings that this 3-lens camera system might also lead to an enhanced portrait mode. With the addition of that wide angle lens also capturing more data and more depth data, you might be able to take more wide angle portrait mode shots. And just like how Apple lets you now edit the aperture on the iPhone XS and iPhone XR, there should be a system that easily lets you set the focal range for your portrait mode shots. And for me, this means that it would be a return to my much loved feature on the iPhone XR, where I was able to take those wider angle portrait mode shots. Those were software enabled because the iPhone XR only has a single lens camera system, so it sounds like on the iPhone 11, you'll be able to get that wider field of view on a portrait mode shot, but it will also be incorporating the depth data from all of those lenses, so you'll also get a better portrait mode shot. And all of this is leading me to believe that the iPhone 11's camera system will be getting a significant upgrade. There is a lot of increasing competition out there, from phones like the Huawei P30 Pro to even the new $400 Google Pixel 3a, which has a good camera inside of it for a lower cost. And Google is marketing the Pixel 3a heavily against the iPhone XS. And with Google software implementation on the Pixel 3's camera, which is leading it to create these amazing photos after post-processing, this is where I think that Apple is going to be falling behind, but they have a unique situation here with the iPhone 11's camera. Apple doesn't want to collect data on you, that's not in their philosophy, so it's going to be very hard to compete with the Google Pixel, which is capturing a lot of data every time you take a photo to contribute to those algorithms to help you take better photos. The iPhone 11's camera may represent what's truly best about Apple, and that is combining great hardware and software together to create the ultimate photo. But enough about what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for all of these rumors and features on the iPhone 11's camera? What feature or rumor did I cover in this video that you're most excited for? Do you agree with me that the design or appearance of the iPhone 11's camera really isn't that big of a deal until we see the final picture? Anyway, just let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the video, make sure you give me a like. If you want to see more from my channel, make sure you're subscribed. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.